What is going on, everybody? And I hope you're enjoying your Wednesday hump day morning so far. This is NYG Jeffy T 85, and I have another New York Giants roster update for the team as they get prepared this week for their game in London against the Green Bay Packers this Sunday early in the morning at 9:30. Today, the New York Giants, they ended up signing another offensive lineman and added him to their practice squad going forward. And that, of course, is Solomon Kindley, who is a former fourth-round draft pick of the Miami Dolphins back in 2022. He has been officially signed to the New York Giants practice squad today. And in a corresponding move, the New York Giants have officially released running back Antonio Williams, who was just recently signed back to the practice squad as of last week. So the Giants obviously trying to beef up that offensive line a little bit more with the fact that they are dealing with a couple of minor nicks and injuries on that team. Kindley is 6'4", 335 pounds, who's played in 29 games overall with 15 games started over the past 2 years with the Miami Dolphins. He's had a career-high 13 games as a rookie and 2 more last year while playing in 16 games overall with the Miami Dolphins. Overall, he's made 10 starts at right guard, 4 at left guard, and 1 as an extra offensive lineman. So obviously, what Solomon Kindley really is, he's just a good depth piece along the interior of that offensive line. So the New York Giants pretty much want to add as much depth as they can as possible as on part of that offensive line. And also, what is another good thing about Kindley, he also played on Georgia about a couple of years ago. And what ironically is about that is, he's a former teammate of Andrew Thomas. So obviously the New York Giants wanted to try to get in another former teammate of their stud left tackle. Kindley was a key player at Georgia with the teams that won 11 or more games in 3 consecutive seasons. The Florida native was named to the coach's freshman All-SEC team in 2017. So Kindley, obviously, he's been in the league for a while, and also he's a guy that pretty much he's another depth piece to this offensive line. So obviously, the Giants want to try to get as much depth as possible on this offensive line going forward because of the fact they're dealing with some injuries right now. Glowinski's a little bit banged up. Feliciano's a little bit banged up. Neal's a little bit banged up. Kindley is another guy that can add to the depth of that offensive line, throw him on the practice squad a little bit, maybe have him get to know what Bobby Johnson wants to do with his offensive lineman in this scheme, and if necessary, you could maybe elevate him to the main roster. Also, some other news that's coming on. Nick Gates is supposed to return to practice today, and he's supposed to be activated off the PUP list, so that's going to be another offensive line addition. So the Giants are trying to add as much offensive line options as possible to this team right now going forward. So, once again, the quick New York Giants roster update. The New York Giants have signed Solomon Kindley, who is a former 4th-round pick in 2020 by the Miami Dolphins, and they have signed Kindley to their practice squad. And in a corresponding move, the New York Giants have released running back Antonio Williams off their practice squad. You have to wonder if this is just a procedural move, and eventually Kindley will be brought back. Williams will be brought back to the roster in the near future. Also, one other injury note that's happened for the New York Giants. We now have the confirmation of what kind of injury wide receiver Kenny Golladay has. Golladay right now is dealing with a sprained MCL. You might as well just call the New York Giants the New York sprained MCLs, because this is the 4th guy right now, or 5th, that has dealt with a sprained MCL so far this season. Whether it's Thibodeau back in the preseason, Leonard Williams right now dealing with a sprained MCL, Wan'Dale Robinson's dealing with a sprained MCL, and now you have Kenny Golladay dealing with a sprained MCL. So I don't expect Kenny Golladay to be playing in the next few games of this season. So I would not be surprised if he's out until possibly week 7, maybe week 8 the latest, depending on how that MCL sprain heals. So the Giants are going to have to go without Kenny Golladay for the next couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks, depending on how his MCL heals. So that's just the news I want to break to you guys right now. The New York Giants have signed another offensive lineman to the practice squad, and I have an injury update. Kenny Golladay is dealing with a sprained MCL. He will not be making the trip to London with the team, and he's going to be pretty much on the sidelines probably for the next 2 to 4 weeks. So If you guys like this video, please hit the like button below. Sub up if you haven't already to NYGJeffyT85 for more breaking news, injury and roster updates, as well as chatter surrounding the New York Football Giants. Turn on the bell for notifications of the next video or short dropping on the New York Giants. And let me know in the comment section what you guys think about the injury diagnosis to Kenny Golladay, how much time he's going to be missing, as well as the New York Giants signing offensive lineman Solomon Kindley to their practice squad to add some more offensive line depth to the team in case they might have to deal with some injuries. And, of course, Nick Gates with a big practice today, hopefully, because he's going to be possibly activated off the PUP. It looks like he's expected to be activated off the PUP, and that's more offensive line depth, and good for Nick Gates, a guy that's pretty much gone through a lot right now in his career the past year or so. So hopefully Gates is going to be able to make it back to the field 100% healthy. I don't think he's going to be 100% healthy, but it's just a remarkable story either way after all he went through back in 2021. So I hope everybody enjoys the rest of your Hump Day Wednesday. Take it easy, everyone, and let's go New York Giants. As always, together blue, everyone.